What's good, everybody? It's the OG Bronc Nuts, 719 West. And I'm going to give a chance for a few minutes for people to join the stream, but I just wanted to get on here before the draft. I'm getting ready to head out to an NFL draft / poker party / barbecue. Matter of fact, I'm going to the NFL draft party at a Kansas City Chiefs fan's house. But he's a good friend of mine, works for me here. So anyway, what's good, Spencer? What's good, Texas Savage? Thanks for joining the stream. Just wanted to give you my pre-draft thoughts. I know I haven't made any Broncos videos for a while. I got a lot on my plate right now, and I've been busy and sidetracked with a lot of other things. But tonight's an important night, and I've certainly been following what I think the Broncos are going to do and what I think they should do. And in past years, you look at last year, Chubb, I think that was an obvious decision. And I think that in years past that we kind of knew what the Broncos were going to do or what type of position player we were looking for in the draft. But in this draft, I really don't know what the Broncos are going to do because I don't know if they're in love with a quarterback or if we're going to do the right thing. I hope that Devin White from LSU, the middle linebacker, is there at 10 tonight, because if he is, I see that it's just a no-brainer pick for us. I mean, the guy's got Pro Bowl type skill, size, and speed and strength written all over him. And I think that if we take him and put him inside on the two bookends we really haven't had a good dominant middle linebacker here in Denver for a long time. I mean, really Al Wilson, Mobley. I mean, we've had a few guys, Mecklenburg. We just haven't had somebody that can really, really dominate, move sideline to sideline. And I really don't think Josie Jewell is that player from even last year, although I think he's still developing. So I'd like to see Devin White. If some reason White's not there, then you got the other Devin Bush from Michigan, their middle linebacker. I think both players are quality, but White to me is... Devin White at LSU is a superior. It's noticeable, I think, that how much more athletic he is. You could make a case that the Broncos are going to try to maybe look at T.J. Hawkinson, the tight end. I think that'd be hard because we drafted a tight end last year, and then, of course, we had Butt that came back and he got hurt. But those guys are both there, plus we just re-signed the tight end from last year. So I think tight end and the depth that we have at tight end is too much right now on our roster for us to do that in the first round. If for some reason White, Bush, and Hawkinson are all there still on the board at 10, I really like a move down in the draft because I think that there's some good value at the bottom of the draft for us, being Greedy Williams, definitely Drew Lock, and maybe even Daniel Jones at the bottom of the first round. But I don't like a quarterback in this draft enough to move up, and I don't like a quarterback enough to really pick at 10. So I'm out on picking quarterback in the first round unless it's a trade down where we can pick up value with Lock or Daniel Jones at the bottom, because I think the other quarterbacks will be gone, and I'm really not that excited. I mean, who do y'all think's going number one? I mean, everybody thinks the consensus is kind of Kyler Murray. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, there's no question the guy's a great athlete, but I just can't, if I was a GM, I couldn't put all my eggs on Kyler Murray and put them all in one basket for the number one pick overall. But quarterbacks that I do like, I mean, I've made it no secret, I've made videos before. I really like Drew Lock's arm and his gunslinging ability. I mean, I think he can throw the 15-yard out and really drive the ball on those pass plays. I do like Daniel Jones just because I think he's a smart guy. Looks like a young Peyton Manning in the pocket to me, and that's kind of how he's been mentored, and I think he's a smart guy to be a quarterback at Duke, so I like him, but at the bottom of the ground. But I more like us picking up some defense because that's the only way we're going to be able to stop teams in the AFC that have high-powered offenses like the Chiefs and maybe the Cleveland Browns, the Patriots. And I think we can do it with defense because that's how we've done it before and brought home a Lombardi trophy. So Fangio's specialty is the middle linebacker. He's coached a lot of them over the years in the New Orleans and in San Francisco. And I think that that's just a no-brainer for us to pick up White. Now, I thought maybe there was a chance we would sign C.J. Mosley, but turns out, we didn't get him, and when we ended up losing Brandon Marshall, the Raiders, and so all we really have inside is Todd Davis and Josie Jewell, and that's definitely not enough, although the Broncos are going to have to go into camp with 3 quarterbacks on their roster. So I think that we have to draft a quarterback in this draft. I just don't like him in the first round, like I said, unless it's at the bottom or a trade down where we pick up some picks to maybe get into a Drew Lock or a Daniel Jones. Beyond that, dropping down, I got to say I kind of like Brett Ripien, who's at Boise State. I think he's thrown some big numbers. Looks like a good prototypical pro quarterback passer to me. And the guy even farther down that I like that I think has gone under the radar a little bit is Eric Dungy, who was the quarterback at Syracuse last year. When you watch the game tape of this guy, he's an incredible athlete. He's almost got like Tim Tebow's size, much faster and agile, but he's got a big-time arm, and I think he throws the ball pretty good. Just not on, maybe a great team there at Syracuse that didn't have a lot of success these past couple of years. And I think he didn't start until his junior year there at Syracuse, but he really looks like a nice quarterback. Big, tall, big, physical, strong kid, almost the way, what's-his-face that went to Buffalo and became their quarterback last year. That kind of side, Josh Allen or whatever. So I don't know exactly what the Broncos are going to do. I had a suspicion that maybe he would go for an offensive lineman, but we paid, really the best right tackle in the game to come to Denver. So that kind of makes me believe that maybe Elway likes left-handed Tua coming out next year and is maybe willing to trade down and pick up some picks for 2020. But my guess is that either one of the Devons is there, Devin White, Devin Bush, they're going to be a Denver Bronco tonight. We'll solidify the inside of our defense. And the fact that we're going to have a pretty aggressive, pretty nasty defense. Chubb's going to come into his own. Von Miller's going to be who he's going to be all the time. And then I think that we'll eventually re-sign Chris Harris. I know there's been a little drama that says he's demanding a trade or a new contract. And the reality is that he doesn't even need to demand that because he's going to get one of those two things. And I think that it's smart for the Broncos to wait till after the draft to even address the Chris Harris situation. Because, who knows what's going to happen in this draft. I mean, maybe the right, pieces fall into place and we do trade down and somehow we end up with Greedy Williams. And if that's the case, then maybe you think about moving on from Chris Harris only because you look at it through just a financial standpoint and a roster slot standpoint. But the Broncos definitely also need another corner. I just don't know if it'll be a first rounder that will get him in. So anyway, thanks for everybody joining the stream, and I seen a bunch of comments come through. I really appreciate you guys tuning in just to hear what I have to say. I'm looking forward to it. I know the sorry-ass Kansas City Chiefs traded away their first-round draft pick again, so y'all won't be picking again this year in the first round, which is good because if I'm going to be at a house with a bunch of little Chiefs fans, I don't want to hear them chirping about the player that they got tonight. You like Devin Spencer? Which one? Because both of them is named Devin. That Devin White and Devin Bush. I think they're both pretty good players, but I think White is definitely the better one of the two. And he looks, give you any, Devin? I like that too. I mean, both of those make sense for us. We hired a defensive head-minded head football coach. A guy that has got a proven track record and his absolute specialty is inside linebackers. So I just don't know how we don't take a middle linebacker tonight, and one of those two guys most certainly is going to be on the board where we pick. So for me, I don't think that this is going to be that surprising of a draft as a Broncos fan. I just think that if White or Bush are there at 10, Broncos will stay right there and take either one of them. I think if both of them and Hawkinson are still on the board, it maybe makes sense for us to move down and see if we can get into a position to maybe pick up an extra pick and still get the guy that we like. Other than that, there's not a lot of other players I'd certainly love to see us get away. I forget the kid's name. He played at K-State. He was an offensive lineman. Probably not going to go in the first round. If he does, it'll be at the very bottom, but he may move into the top of the second round. I still think the Broncos need some depth around the offensive line, and this is a Colorado kid, and I can't remember his name. Dalton Reisner, I think it is. And just a real quality kid, and he's big and he's physical, and you can tell that he loves football, and he's a Denver Broncos fan. If there was somehow we could get Dalton on our squad in the second round or third round, I doubt he'll even go that far. That would be, I think, a blessing for us. But things are looking good. Broncos, Philip Lindsay's healing up pretty good. Freeman's going to become more of a feature back. Hopefully he takes a big step. Hopefully we get extended, continued play like we saw the back third of the season out of Garrett Bowles at left tackle. We've definitely got to replace the center since we lost Pratis. So, I mean, there's some things that we got to fill, but that's every single team going into the draft. and we'll just see. Who knows? There'll be some big trades possibly that could go down tonight, but we'll see what happens. What do I think about CH Jr.? Oh, Chris Harris. I covered that. I'd rather Chris was on our team, and I would rather we signed Chris. But, you know, like I said, the smartest thing to do as a GM of a football team is to wait until after the draft, because we have no idea what's going to happen in this first round. Things that you never expected to happen all the time. They happen every year. And sometimes it happens to your team and sometimes it doesn't. And we don't know if it's going to happen to our team until after the draft is over tonight. So there's really no reason, in my opinion, even to negotiate a new contract with Chris Harris until the draft is over and free agents, or, you know, the draft is over and then being able to sign undrafted free agents. And then once that's over, you know, I'm sure there'll be a negotiation. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris hold out from camp. But I think eventually we'll get him signed. He'll be a Bronco. He needs to be here, and he's a big part of our defense. And with guys like Antonio Brown and that Tyreek Hill, that, you know, he commits 19 different crimes he got off against guys like the Teflon Don. With receivers like those two guys in our division, I don't see how we can afford to not have a guy like Chris Harris on the team. Did you say we needed an edge rusher, Undertaker? Come on, cuz. We're stacked with edge rushers. I mean, and this whole draft is stacked with edge rushers. There's probably, 8 edge rushers that could go literally in the top 15, 20 picks. I mean, that's definitely something that we do not need, an edge rusher here in Denver. We got too many dang edge rushers. I mean, I don't know how good Shaq Barrett's going to be in the NFL, but my guess is he's going to do pretty good. He just never really got a chance here because of the quality of edge rushers we have. So, you know, we really need a fill-in spot on the corner. I mean, we're going to get Sua Cravens back healthy in the secondary. So I look for Denver's defense to be pretty gangster this year, and that's what we're going to have to do to be able to compete in the AFC West, because I don't think that there's any magic solution or pixie dust that we can throw into our offense and get it to score 40, 50 points and try to keep up with Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr and Phillip Rivers. I mean, these teams are going to score some points, so we're going to have to counteract that with defense, and I think that's the best chance. Plus, it's cheaper to build a championship with defense. We've seen where we've won Lombardi trophies with defense before, so we know we can do it again. And you just got to trust in the plan, trust in Elway. I think if we string 2 or 3 drafts back to back to back, it's just a matter of no time till we're right back at the top of the AFC West. This is the OG Bronc Nut 719 West. Thanks for coming to the stream. Thanks for watching. Listen to what I have to say. Thanks for chipping in some comments. Just want to give you my thoughts on the draft, and I'm headed out to the draft party. Wish me luck, because we're going to be playing that poker, and the OG is going to be making it rain. I'm out. See you tomorrow, suckers.